It's 1 o'clock, Monday.
She's asking for help.
Excuse me, guys. That's our friend Mayhem Miracles. Uh, Aja, who is live right now. I'm just giving a quick scan through. There we go. Who do we got here today? We got William here today. Just give me a second, guys. I want to bring up my desktop. William, how are you? You still here? And there's the desktop. I think I'm all set. William says, I will not make the most of this live. I apologize. Not certain if you will read this yet. I am going to lunch with an old friend. Awesome. Enjoy the time with your friend. All about priorities. I will be here. I'll be here one more time today, let alone tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So, it's all good. William says, fortunately, and trying to be here. William says his friend reminded him. I forgot. I kept him waiting. Well, however it works out, I hope you two have a good lunch. Now he's picking them up. Awesome. Hope you guys go to a good place. We got Kyle Goth here. Kyle says, hey, Kyle, how are you? What's new with Kyle? I was actually, myself, I was never goth. However, in my high school and post-high school partying days, I was open to partying with everyone. And I had quite a few friends that I would hang out and party with in the goth community. As well as a theater community, as well as jocks. Did not matter to me. Let's see. William says, how are you today? And question. Questabob? What's a and Questabob? I don't know what that is. William says he was heavily into goth, emo. We didn't really have emo as much in my day. I was in a strange category, high school wise, because I was hippie-ish, very much in the Grateful Dead. There wasn't a whole lot of Deadheads then, a few. I mean, there was a lot of Deadheads, but not in my school, I should say. And I also played sports. I was into working out. That was a strange mixture. I was also somewhat solitary, but I had some good friends, and I was also like, I'd hang out with anyone who wanted to hang out. That was me. Still me. Which means weird. I was weird in high school. I was weird out of high school. I am in my late middle age, and I am still weird. Maybe weirder than ever. Because now, I'm all for it. I've accepted it. I'm not looking for anything other. Where it says, if you believe in your salvation steadfastly, which means you believe you are receiving rewarded. I'm looking at the best way to approach that. I need to think that over. I need to digest that because I have a different view on salvation from outside sources that have sort of coalesced into my own experiences through meditation. Our friend Laradox is here. Laradox says, hey. Where it says, question, I am on mobile phone, overheating, and I'm trying to text fast. I can then be taken, put others first, if I somehow believe I gain something from it. The simple realization that there are no others. There are no others. So if you gain something from it, everyone gains something from it. When you put others first, then you are gaining as well. When you put yourself first, you literally see there are no others. You got to separate the little self, small s, with big self, capital S. That in terms of putting the ego first, that's different than putting the needs of the spirit first. That's why Jesus said, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and everything else is delivered. The kingdom of heaven is the realization that there are no others. Squirrel Sniper is here. Squirrel Sniper says, greeting beautiful souls from across the pond, but under the same skies. Welcome, Squirrel Sniper. William says, it all feels wrong. It does feel wrong. As long as we think of ourselves as separate from others, as long as we think of ourselves as a small, separate ego, then it's going to be wrong. But when we can recognize that it's just a thought and that that thought is not reality in and of itself, everything changes. Laradox says he can't stay. Greg says, Greg, how are you, my friend? Hey, Laradox, how are you doing? Laradox says I can't stay at basketball, and my phone speaker is messed up, so I can't hear you right now. That's okay. Laradox says I'll be back. William says, I thought I was abounding that edge of discovery. Thank you very much. You're welcome. That's the thing with insights. You know, we get these insights and it seems by degree, but then everything starts opening up to us. It's good to ask those questions. The most important question, though, is what we ask ourselves, and it is simply, who am I? We just keep asking, who am I? Never settling on an answer. Any answer that you get is going to be conceptual. Any answer that you give yourself is going to be your opinion of yourself and not the actuality of yourself. Laradox says, before I go, he's going to drop a Bible verse. I will never forget your precepts, for by them you have given me life. William says, all right, Yogi, I'm heading off for lunch in a few minutes. I'm signing off for a bit. Enjoy your lunch. Our friend Barb is here. Barb says, hugs and blessings to my spiritual family. I pray one and all is doing well. Just remember who you are and fight for yourself as a human. And how are you, Barb? Thank you for that beautiful message. So the text has kind of changed on my phone, and I've been told it's changed on other people's phones, and it's going up in my face. Don't know if I can fix that. Someone told me not to mess with it, that this is the way things should be. I don't know if that's true or not. But I don't want things, you know, hey, if it doesn't help you communicating with me, that's not good. Plus, I don't know how to fix something. Once I start pressing buttons, everything goes haywire, guys. Squirrel Sniper says, hey to Barb. So what's new in the world, guys, with all of you? Barb says, doing good. Appointment at 3. We'll find out more. So doing good. Does that mean you're experiencing less pain? That would be awesome. Let's see. Drake says, react to Slipknot. First, I'd have to know what Slipknot is, and then I'd rather respond to Slipknot than to react to Slipknot. Multi. What's that? Multi something. So that's been taken care of. Anything that you'd like to say that does not revolve around other people, your opinion of other people, is always more than welcome. As long as it doesn't have anything to do with anyone else. You know what I mean? What's the point? What's the point in holding a grievance towards someone that you don't even know? Man, what a tough way to go through life, expanding that type of energy. Barb says, "Oh, just learning to cope with it." I'm sorry. I'm happy you're learning to cope with it. I'm sorry that you're still experiencing the pain. Barb, we got Squirrel Sniper on the hunt. He's not going to let anyone through. Man, you know when you put a guy named Squirrel Sniper as a moderator, he ain't going to mess around. Barb says, just don't have the energy to fight some things. Understandable. Squirrel Sniper says, I play fair. Oh, you definitely do. You play fair, and you take no prisoners. Barb says, everyone, I did send Yogi some medical records to prove what I have. And again, I mentioned before, there's no need. Barb has nothing to prove to anyone. Not me, not you, not anyone. Barb has her own life to deal with. Why make it any harder? You have your own life to deal with. Why make it any harder for you? Because, trust me, there is better things you can do with your energy than to harass anyone, regardless of if you feel justified or not. Here's a deep truth. There are no justified resentments because it's not about the other person, it's about you. You're carrying around this resentment and it keeps you feeling small and separate, and the only way you can regain that sense of largesse you believe is by attack thoughts, which just diminishes you. It has nothing to do with the other person. That's the problem. We keep thinking it has something to do with the other person. There, as I said to our friend William up above, there are no other persons. There are no other people. There are no others. Let's see. Drake is asking me again to react to Slipknot, but he still has not told me what Slipknot is. Also, once you tell me, again, I'd prefer to respond to Slipknot. I really probably wouldn't have a reaction or a response, even if you told me, because why would I have a reaction about something I learned just now? If I do learn. And I might not. I could Google it, but man, why would I? If it was important for me to know it, I would already know it, right? Unless Drake has been sent here to inform me what Slipknot is, but so far he hasn't done it. If you'd like to, Drake, if you'd like to drop the news, feel free, my friend. So Barb says appointment at 3, and she is an hour behind me. It's just after 1 o'clock here. Give me a second, guys. I'm just going to look around, see if any of our other friends are live. I know that Maja, Mayhem Miracles, is live. Our new friend, Cuban Crisis was live. He was talking about colonization, which is a interesting subject, heavy subject. He's put out some really heavy subjects lately. The last two live streams, the only two live streams, since he's a new friend that I've caught. Our friend, let's see, where are we? Signature's here. Signature says, greeting my friends and thumbs up. Thank you, Signature. How are you? Speaking of some live streams, Signature has put out some quite a few live streams lately and some new videos. So I hope you guys get a chance to check them out. Let's see. Barb says, I have learned to stay away from eating things. Well, eating things. I do meditation for the comfort of my mind, body, and spirit. Not yet doing the arm exercise as of yet. That'll come when you're ready. Wolf is here. Wolf says, hey, Yogi. Wolf, how are you, my friend? Yeah, the meditation, being comfortable in your mind, that will really be an asset to your body as well. When you're ready, we'll start doing some chair yoga. Barb says, oh, we got some good news. Don't know for sure, but maybe move to Mexico in an earth home. Man, that would be awesome. I love New Mexico. You know, our friend C. Payton lives in New Mexico. Wouldn't you guys miss Louisiana? Sorry. Let's see. Signature says, hey to Squirrel Sniper. Barb says, I would miss it here. Yeah, I think about, man, I'd love to live back up in Pennsylvania. Except, of course, winters are harder. I've lost my taste for winter. Wolf says, everything except for the hurricanes and rain. You'd be probably safer for sure in New Mexico as far as hurricanes and rain. Although, depending on where, you might make up for it with tornadoes. There's always something, you know, wherever we live. You would think Maryland, I might be slightly safe from tornadoes, and beginning of summer, I had one touchdown right in my backyard. Barb says, I don't know if I could live my life underground. It would probably be nice and cool. Signature says, nature controls nature. Absolutely. It's a deep insight, my friend. Kayla's here. Kayla Bill, how are you? Barb says, we are never safe from Mother Earth. We could take that two ways. We are never safe from Mother Earth, and yet our only safety is found in Mother Earth, providing us everything that we need. Kayla says, hello, Boo, and morning. Morning to you. Kayla put in an epic session this morning. I had her up and running. As whenever I see her go live, she's automatically up, and she'll stay up. As long as she has the endurance to keep gaming, I'll keep her up. And man, does she ever have a lot of endurance for gaming. Signature says, hey to Kayla Boo. Give me a second here, guys. If you guys want to connect to Kayla, made it nice and easy for you. Kayla is now a moderator. Barb says, bingo, Yogi. It would help for allergies, but away from doctors. Yeah, but it's such a beautiful area. Milk and I once talked of buying some property in Flagstaff, Arizona. Speaking of which, our friend William Downey, who lives in Phoenix, going on vacation. I think as of today, he's heading to the White Mountains. Wolf says the cost of living would go up. Crawfish are expensive here now. Imagine when we move, what it'd be like in New Mexico. Might be surprising. I'm sure that New Mexico has crawfish, but like you could catch yourself, but probably smaller. Like we have them here, but they don't get real big. Signature says, congrats to Kayla Boo. Kayla's been a YouTube friend for quite some time. And I looked and I realized, why isn't Kayla, why isn't she a moderator? And I don't know. So I had to fix it. I hope you guys definitely connect with her. Our friend Goldie is here. Goldie, how are you? How's work going today? Hey, our new friend Tara is here. Hello, Tara. Tara says, hey. Hope you're having a good day, my friend. We are talking about New Mexico, earth huts, which is funny because I've been having some conversations with Goldie about earth huts or hobbit houses. And I've had conversations with Squirrel Sniper about similar things like that. Goldie says, hi there, lovely people. And hello there, lovely Goldie. Tara is having a good day. Gayla says, thank you, Bill. You're welcome, my friend. Kayla says, yay, it's well deserved. Goldie says she's okay. Let's see. Goldie says, Eric McCarty, you can show the link if you want. You see how easily I can find it right now. Navigating my social media stuff. For some reason, there's gaps on my desktop. When I go to other social media sites, when I check messages, I don't have the gaps on my phone. So, Goldie, I'll have to share it next live stream. Goldie says the image is on your computer. Yeah, I'll have to do that next live stream when I figure out a way to do it. Wolf says, no, the crawfish we get are farm raised. Not enough water for crawfish farms in New Mexico. Yeah, that's probably true. Especially considering with the scarcity of water in some places that this is a sore point for me. Scarcity of water in some places, and yet they use a considerable amount of it for golf courses, for manicured yards, things along that nature. Wolf says all the seafood will have to be shipped and frozen, so nothing fresh. Yeah, that would definitely be a drawback for you guys. Seafood making up a great deal of your diet. Let's see. Cody says, hey there, Eric LaPointe. I didn't see Eric LaPointe. Did I miss him? If he's here and I missed him, I apologize. Eric, how are you? If he's not here, well, then that's a preemptive greeting. Cody says you don't have to, but you may want to. Um, yeah, like I said, I'll have to look it up on my phone, and then I can share it. I'll share it back again on my messages. Man, technology for me is a mess. Kayla says, hi guys. Barb says we would have to freeze pack all seafood to send to us for cooking. Yeah, that would be a bit of a pain, that's for sure. Barb says, I hate technology. I'm not going to say I hate technology, but we have a misunderstanding between us, me and technology. I do my best, but man, it's only going to get so good for me. Are you working today, Goldie? I'm just giving again a quick look, seeing how people are doing. So it's Monday. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Let me know if there is anything at all you guys want to talk about. Let's see. Barb says, well, one thing about moving, we will be close enough to still get internet and cell phones. That would be good. Man, it certainly has brought the world closer together, hasn't it? Back in, I guess it was in the early 1900s, probably just around the turn of the century, Sigmund Freud talked about his daughter moving to another county, let alone another country, and how it was the advent of technology, the invention of the telephone, that gave them the convenience of being able to talk anytime they wanted, or as often as you could back then with telephone. However, it was also probably the telephone that made people consider leaving their immediate family, the immediate surroundings. That before that type of technology, and for the most part, families tended to stay within a range of each other. That we were, we had that tight knit family as well as community. And then you think about some of the tribal societies where the entire tribe would participate in the raising of children. It wasn't just one family's responsibility, it was everyone's responsibility. And how much of that we're really, really missing. That if someone did not have a father, elders would step in, provide that role. If someone didn't have a mother, someone would step in and provide that role. Nowadays, it seems that we are letting people fend for themselves more often at earlier and earlier ages. My generation, which was the very beginning of Generation X, were called, latchkey kids, because both parents worked. We were given a key. Barb says, third day out of 4 in a row. Hey, that's not that bad. 4 in a row. I know you were putting in 6s for a while. Barb says, yes, closer, but so many people are just too stupid to use it right. I mean, those that use it to hurt with. It's definitely made that easier as well. Anonymity, I believe, gives people that feeling of power, and of course it's not true power, and the ability to what they think, speaking out, just causing pain. Back in the old days, they would just write a strongly worded letter. And of course, it would take so long to get here, all the sting would be gone. There's a lot to be said for, you know what, writing a letter and not sending it, writing an email and not sending it. Express yourself. Not everyone needs to know our opinion about everything, including mine, maybe especially mine. For me, especially mine. It's been a liberating experience to let my opinion just be my opinion without having a need to make anyone else wrong for their own. Not believing my opinion as factual. How could it be? It's just a thought. It's just a thought form. It's just a energetic neurotransmission flittering through my mind that if I want it to make any sense, I got to bring it back and bring it back and bring it back. Or I could let go of it. Wolf says, Monday. How many other days of the week have songs about them? Tuesday's Gone with the Wind. Tuesday afternoon. So I know 2 with Tuesdays. I'm on a roll. Let's see. I know there was a song in the 80s or 90s, Friday. Manic Monday. That's 2 for Monday. It's a good question, Wolf. Goldie says, it does take a village to raise a child. And it should. We got some heart emojis from our friend Kayla. Squirrel Stampy says, this is why the Greeks were famous in history. They had the best runners to send information to city. Those that are well informed are rarely deceived. Nicely said. Walking with Goldie says, I'm the same generation as you, Eric McCarty, the generation with the key. Yep, I am of the elder, the advent, right at the cusp between the baby boomers. I had the utmost respect for baby boomers forever. The hippie generation. And then Generation X. So I made it into Generation X. Goldie is, I think, right in the middle of Generation X. Or maybe towards the end of Generation X. And then what, we had the millennials. I forget what date the millennials come into play. Yep, key on a chain. Goldie says, hi there, Squirrel Sniper. Always a pleasure. Wolf says, right, Sniper, but the Greeks didn't waste runners on fake news. This is true. Excellent point. On rumors. You don't want to send a runner out on a rumor. Imagine if you were a Greek runner and you ran 50 miles to deliver news, and then you ran 50 miles back, and the person said, hey, by the way, completely mistaken in that memo that I sent. I need to correct it. Here's the correct one. Would not be a happy runner. Supposed to says the Greek goddess Medea, the goddess of deception, is Squirrel Sniper's reply to Wolf. But being the goddess of deception, would they trust her? Of course, if you're deceived, you never know you're being deceived if it's done cleverly. Of course, if you're dealing with a Greek goddess who is known for her deception, then, you know, word to the wise. You can't really go, oh man, I never saw that coming. You would think when you're dealing with the Greek goddess of deception, maybe you would see it coming. The onus is on you. Goldie says, 1980. I never understood the naming of the generations. Yeah, kind of weird. Generation X is a weird title. Baby boomers make sense because it was a baby boom. Greatest generation makes sense. Those guys stepped up, saved the world. The silent generation, that was my dad's generation. He was at the cusp between the greatest generation and the silent generation. The silent generation gets so little credit for what they did. But those are the ones who stepped up in the civil rights movement. Martin Luther King, silent generation. They put out the world's best music aside from classical. Beatles, silent generation. Rolling Stones, silent generation. Jimi Hendrix, silent generation. Those guys weren't baby boomers. Let's see, Squirrel Sniper says, Medea, what is that? Medea, Medea, right? Medea? Am I getting that right? Am I even close to getting that right? Cody says, Medea, the one with the snakes, that was Medusa. That can petrify people. Yep, Sniper says, no, that's a Titan. Goldie, Medusa. Medusa, defeated by Hercules, right? And I don't remember how she was defeated. I love reading alternate history of these things where you could see Medusa as the actual heroine of the story if you flip the narrative around. Of course, everyone's the hero of their own story, which is a cause for a great deal of delusion. Kayla gives us some emojis, but you know what? I don't recognize those emojis. First, I thought they were chickens. I don't think they're chickens. I see a heart in the middle. Media, i.e. the news. Same pronunciation. Thank you for that, Squirrel Sniper. Why did that not occur to me? You would think it would. Yeah, it's just interesting to flip that stuff around. I've seen some very, very clever authors be able to do that with different stories. Squirrel Sniper says, did you know news means north, east, west, south? I did not know that. That's interesting. That again seems like something that would be so obvious, and yet it never even occurred to me. Full coverage. Back in the day. Maybe. You know, we always love to point out some of the issues that are going on now, but man, there was fake news in the 1870s. There was fake news in the 1970s. There's going to be fake news in 2070. Really, when you think about it, it gets harder and harder to make the distinction between news, what the media considers news. They're the arbiters of this is news, this isn't. That 3 people shot here is news. 3 people not shot somewhere else isn't news. You know, what's the old saying? If it bleeds, it reads. If it bleeds, it leads. Our friend Jace is here. Jace, my friend, how are you? Squirrel Snapper says, for sure now it's legal for news to create stories because of it's on an entertainment channel. Yeah, sadly so. However, even if it's listed as an entertainment channel, people, they want to believe it because it supports their opinion. Just think how much suffering has been created in the world based upon opinion, and yet they're so easy to change. They're hard to let go of, though. We cherish our opinions above all others, particularly our opinions about ourselves, that I am right. And if I am right, then I'm allowed to air my grievances about you. I'm allowed to uh, resent you in any way I want. Because, hey, I'm entitled to it. It's my opinion. I believe this about you. Not realizing it's all a story. Every little last bit of it is all a story. I keep seeing people say hi to Eric Lapointe, and yet I don't see Eric Lapointe. Squirrel Sampa says, hey, Jace, great workout. Earlier, yeah, Jace always puts in the work. And Jace is very clever in how he does it, you know? It's very a unique way of physically expressing himself that is really effective, obviously. Look at him. 50 years old and fit. Almost said 50 years old and fit as a fiddle, but that would definitely date me. Wolf says, not sure about the future of fake news with everyone having a camera. It will be harder to do that. That's a good point. Of course, now, as we've mentioned, as Barb mentioned, artificial intelligence, things can be refaked, easily faked, faked over, manipulated. Jay says, I'm great, thanks. Had a few beers in the sun. Zena is loving it too. Sounds like a good day. Well earned after your workout. Squirrel Sniper says, also based on a false narrative sometimes. Yeah, absolutely. I would say almost, man, I'm going to go as far as 99% false narrative. Because just because we see something, just because we perceive something, doesn't actually mean that it happened the way we believe that it did. And we only see our own perspective. We're not really interweaving an entire story about the perspective of others. Jason's saying hi to, he says, thanks to Squirrel. And he says hi to Tara and Signature. Wolf says we are just used to him being here. Yeah, I think that's it. Eric Lapointe has become a fixture. Jay says we are now connected, Tara. Nice. Squirrel Simpa says to Wolf, have you heard of the augmented reality? Wolf says not as such, but I am sure I have seen it. Jay says ELP is here. He just don't know it. Eric Lapointe is never absent from our community. He's never absent from our heart. He is essential, as all of you. Highlight of my day. Kayla says still lurking. Much appreciated, Kayla. Jay says, morning, Kayla. Have a great day. Jay, so you connected with Kayla? Let's swing on over to Jace's channel real quick. I hope everyone here is connected with Jace. Jace is at 470 subscribers. I've been spending quite a bit of time watching Jace's playlist. It's funny. I've been through it 3 or 4 times. Each one is as enjoyable as the time before. It's the same videos, and yet I enjoy each one just as much. That's a sign of not just an entertaining person or channel, but someone that has some uh, deep insights on fitness, um, health, and spiritual issues. Sniper says, NASA seems to have perfected it. In my honest opinion, the history between Disney and NASA go hand in hand. Jay says, I watch the streams. You know what? I've seen you there. I remember. Kayla is awesome. Kayla is awesome. Sniper says, just feeding me, Jace, on the subs. Squirrel Sniper says, not that I'm looking for any random subs, just quality subs that bring love. Man, what a big issue. That has been on my mind quite a bit, as we've had some chasing after subs and losing sight of the fact a sub is just, as soon as we call it a sub, it's no longer a person. Now it's a number. So we're chasing after numbers. We're not making connections. If you just want that number next to your name, this is why Squirrel Snapper said, just quality subs that bring love. You don't get love from a number. You get love from people and animals and dogs. Xena and Bax and Misty and my 2 cats when they're in the mood. When they're in the mood to do so. That's the thing with cats. And we've had some friends who've lost sight of that, just chasing after those numbers. We've had a friend who has done that. But hopefully, you know what? Here's a good thing about being friends. Hopefully, there can be a course correction. No one has ever set, well, I did all I can. Out of my hands now. Never out of our hands. Our hands are limitless in their reach when our hands are connected with our heart. And we just keep reaching. We just keep reaching. Course correction. Course correction doesn't necessarily mean making a 180-degree turn like that. Sometimes it's just a matter of degrees, small degrees. Jay says, Squirrel's taken 12 weeks so far, and the love is amazing. All I can do is just be myself. More than enough. 12 weeks is at 470. Excellent. Kayla says, morning to Jace. Squirrel says, Jace, that's the only way to get them, my friend. Oh, only way to get the best, my friend. I agree. Jace says, Eric, I forgot to say the puppy is called Clyde, the Rottweiler, and it's called Bunny. Get them shorts made. Thank you. And I appreciate that gesture very much. Squirrel Semper says, I managed to get 420 subs without putting my first video or short up. I felt honored, to be honest. If you look around the great interwebs, you will see Squirrel Sniper as a moderator on many channels, as well as just being a quiet supporter some places. I saw him on a mutual friends channel who seemed to be going through some rough times, and Squirrel Sniper was there protecting, and a steady presence. Steady presence in what looked to me a place that really needed some steady presence. But I mentioned that with Eric Lapointe as well. How he got to 1,000 and never once saying, hey guys, will you sub to me? Never once going around and looking for subs, but just doing his work, sharing, helping people. Our friend Jerry is here and says, hey, what's up? YouTube Yogi family. Jerry, my friend, how are you? Hey, is anyone here on Instagram? If you're on Instagram, check out Jerry. He's doing some amazing writing. Pithy. Not a word I get to use too often. Meaning a great deal of substance in the fewest words possible. Who was it? I bet you School Sniper knows. Brevity is a sign of genius. Brevity is, I could Google that up too. Maybe I will. Jerry says, how you doing, Mr. Eric? I'm doing good, Gary. Appreciate you asking. Jay says, I also moderate on a lot of channels. Community is very important. Absolutely it is. Our friend Sue is here. Just one Sue. If you guys want to experience a slice of Susquehanna River, just one Sue's personal slice of the Susquehanna River, as well as what she captures in the boundless sky. So much passes in the sky. Sue captures it, and sometimes Sue just captures the sky itself. Always beautiful. Jerry says, thank you, Sniper, glad to see you. And says, hey Sue, how are you? Wolf is saying hi to Sue. Just looking around real quick, seeing what's up. Flower's here. Flower says it won't be here for long, but hi. What's up, Flower? You gonna get ready to go to bed? Hey, Flower, did you make it through the night? What was that, 2 nights ago? Where you said that you were just gonna go ahead and stay up. It wasn't worth going to sleep. Jay says, weather forecaster have issued warnings for thunderstorms here. I will have a camera ready. Awesome. We haven't had a whole lot of thunderstorms this year, and normally in summer, we get them every single day. It's been weeks since we've had a thunderstorm. We might have only had 2 or 3 this entire summer. Flower saying hi to everyone. As she does. Sue drops a link for a friend of hers in Alaska with moose. Not a whole lot of things that I know for certain, guys, but here is one. You don't want to miss a video of a moose. Sue, maybe I did that wrong. It was your, there it is. I got it. Awesome. First time I saw a moose was in Maine. This is in the early 1980s. We were driving across Maine. We were making a trip up to Mount Katahdin, which is the last section of the Appalachian Trail. And we were in a 1970-something VW Rabbit, and we were on a logging road, and we saw a moose. You know, when you look out and you see a deer, you're windshield level with a deer. We saw a moose's knee, if they have knees. I'm not sure if they have knees or not. I think they do. That's all we could see. We had to get out of the car to see it. Let's see. Thank you for sharing that, Sue. I got it up. I watched it. I'm going to leave a comment after the live stream. Flower says, I moved to my cousin's house, and they are moving tomorrow, so they don't have Wi-Fi when the lights go out. Where are your cousins moving to? So you'll be at your cousin's, they'll be moving, and you'll stay? Flower says, can't say hi to everyone. That's okay, Flower. Jerry says, Eric, can you copy and paste for people to reach? Not sure if everyone can copy the link. If I do it, only people on a desktop will be able to find it. And I think probably the majority of people here, because I'm on my desktop, the majority of people here would probably be on their phone. Lee's here. Lee, my friend, how are you? Says Yogi, hey buddy, how are you? I'm doing pretty good. Wolf says, Flower just being here is good enough. 100% agree with our friend Wolf. Just having Flower hang out for however long she's able to or wants to. Flower says Wi-Fi stays on for a few minutes after the lights go out. And lights are off. Man, guys, we take so much for granted here, at least in my neck of the woods. Jace says, Lee brother, welcome to a real community. Thank you for that, Jace, and definitely welcome. Flower has no data. Flower her mom went to India for my grandpa's cancer treatment. Safe travels to your mom, and prayers to your grandfather. Sue says they get to see them in their yard all the time, so amazing. Yeah, Mocha's mom lives in Anchorage, Alaska, and they're always in their yard. Not many people know this. You know, Eric LaPointe lives in Connecticut. Connecticut has a small moose population, as does Massachusetts. That was actually news to me when I found that out. For a long time, of course, moose were inhabited the Adirondacks in upstate New York, and then they disappeared, but they've made a comeback, which is always nice when any animal makes a comeback. Flower says her cousins will move to a new house. Who are you going to be, once they move, who are you going to be staying with until your mom comes home? Lee says, hey to just one Sue. All right, guys, let me catch up. As we have someone new here, I don't want them to know right off the bat how slow I am in the live streams. That might be enough to send people running in the opposite direction. Or once they hear me mispronounce things over and over and over again, that might send them over the edge. Lou says, Jace brought me here, Yogi. He's a special man with a massive heart. He is, definitely. Highlight of my 5 a.m. here in the States. Flower says, and her cousin's house is near my school, a new school, so I came here. Sue says, Flower, I hope things are well for your grandfather. Thank you, Sue. Jay says, Goldie, always welcome. My door remains open. And there I am. I'm caught up. Goldie says, too late, Eric McCarty. But wait a minute, I'm caught up, and I don't think I've mispronounced anything in the last 5 minutes. Or am I mistaken? Jerry says, hey guys, if anyone coming to India, do ping me. I just got back here. Just remember you have home here, and most welcome to all my family who would love to come to India. That's awesome. Thank you for that, Jerry. Lee says, Kayla, I recognize the name. That was a great invitation from our friend Jerry. Man, imagine how many people we have here from all over the world. Transylvania, Romania represented, uh, England, India, Myanmar, which I believe was pronounced perfectly, if I'm not mistaken. We have our friend Nightwatcher from Bangladesh, again pronounced perfectly, if if I'm not mistaken. Oh, we got quite a few people from England. We got someone from the Susquehanna Valley, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I guess technically not a valley. Louisiana. Just scrolling up ahead. Let me get back down there. Flower says, I need to pack my things, but I can't see. Yeah, that makes it difficult. Let's see. Yep, I agree with Goldie. We need to be careful with the information we put out. Really hate for someone to take advantage of that. Jerry says, laughing, no, you're not still my friend. It's just you never miss anyone. That's what I really love about you. And I stay back for my response. That's what family do, right? Right. Wait for another to finish. Man, beautifully said, Jerry. And I appreciate hearing that. Lisa, sorry. Yogi, may I ask you where you're from? I'm from the East Coast of the United States, the state of Maryland. Though I was born in Pennsylvania, but I've grown up in Maryland. Flower says we don't want anyone to dox themselves. Exactly. Flower says, why did I have to fall asleep all evening? Probably because you stayed up too late the night before. Even with Flower and Wolf and me and Barb and probably many others saying, Flower, you need to go to sleep. Just my opinion, just my thoughts. Jerry says, Goldie, that's completely fine. I serve in Indian Army. I'm cool with this, but if you insist, I'll keep in mind and respect the rules. Not so much rules as, like you said, Jerry, family, community, looking out for each other. Man, once, a few weeks ago, I was going to put my phone number here for someone who wanted to call, and man, everyone rushed. Whoa, you don't want to do that. I believe the most common expression was, what are you, crazy? Lee says, well, Rush played there a couple of times. Yeah, they played right down the road from me, Meriwether Post Pavilion, as well as Capitol Center. I think the Civic Center. So yeah, Rush fan. Man, the people who are Rush fans are big, big Rush fans. I mean, it's a passion. It's not just like, yeah, they're good. If you love Rush, you're all in. Flower says, hey, but I got to my old school early. Yeah, you did. But it leaves you tired out, doesn't it? End of the day. Cody says Jerry can also hurt Eric McCarty if people dox themselves in his live stream. Had not thought of that. Jay says email is the best way to make that first connection. Email. I'm connected with Jerry on Instagram. Connected with a few people on Facebook. Facebook's easier for me as I'm not often on Instagram. I do check it more often though, just in case. One, I like looking for Jerry. Again, he packs a lot of insight, a lot of wisdom, in well-chosen words that have so much impact to him. When you can do that with as few of words as possible, you're definitely working with something special. Goldie says, we said that's not wise. Yes, you certainly did. And it was a good point. Jerry says, I see, I get it. My bad. I'm so sorry, guys. Not a problem, Jerry. Lee says, Massive Rush fan. It's an obsession. I love Neil's lyrics as much as the music, Yogi. Rush is intense. There's no let up in Rush. You know what I mean? It's from start to finish of any song is just packed with heat and meaning. Rush. It's a perfect name for him. And yeah, obsession. That's the way it is with so many people who love Rush. Goldie says, yes, Jace, or private messaging. Eric McCarty doesn't hide his Facebook. Nope. I can pretty much say I don't hide anything. Really. This is me, warts and all. One thing, okay, no warts. maybe I am hiding that. Maybe I do have one wart. Let's see. Goldie says we're all looking out for each other. Exactly, 100%. Goldie says, don't worry about it, Jerry. Jerry says, it's just that I felt like to say it, everyone, that you're always welcome here. Just wanted to say that I love you. All people, believe me, I find my peace here. I come here, I constantly check for live. And really, really appreciate you, Jerry, being here, your support. Jerry says, thank you, each one of you. And thank you. Goldie says, I appreciate your kindness, Jerry. We can certainly use more of that in the world. That is for sure. Honestly believe that kindness itself isn't in short supply. Love isn't in short supply. Community isn't in short supply. However, the obstacles that prevent us from seeing our own kindness are in very high supply, which is why we don't see that kindness. We don't see our own kindness. Lee says, Yogi, you have lots of books. What's your favorite type of literature or topic to read? I read a lot of books on yoga psychology, yoga philosophy, yoga meditation, all books on Buddhism, alternate spirituality to a degree. I read a lot of the Christian mystics. I love reading science across the board, especially cosmology, quantum physics. I understand nothing about cosmology or quantum physics, but I love reading it. When I read it, I feel like I understand. When I put the book down, I realize I didn't understand anything. I do like fiction. I haven't been reading it as much lately. Fiction across the board. However, I do read a couple series. If you remember the old Robert Parker, the Spencer series, or the Joe Pike series, the Dresden Files. Goldie says, I'll even if I ever plan a trip to India, I'll ask Aaron McCartney to put us in contact. Nice, and I'd be happy to do so. Flower says, I'm here wondering why the Wi-Fi is still working. It's because you meant to talk with us, Flower, for at least a little bit longer. Jay says, Jerry, Eric doesn't realize, but he brings so many people together. It's pure love. Well, thank you for saying that, Jace. I much appreciate that. I hope I can be worthy of that. Lee says, hey to Jerry. Flower says, I remember when I was just scrolling and live stream, I saw an old guy with about 3 viewers, so I felt bad and stayed. And she still feels bad for me after all this time. This was a while ago. I'll take it. She stayed and made herself at home and shows up pretty much every day. There's an occasional day when she doesn't. Some days it's just coming in and saying hi. But when she decides to stay, everyone gets a hi. Walking with Goldie says, I'm happy to see that. Lovely Flower. Jerry says, thanks, Eric. Those words are my treasure. I write it from the heart and get lost in balance to write a deep conversation in 2 lines so I can give hope to everyone around us. Hey, Jerry, do you want to share your link? Are you able to? I really enjoy reading Jerry's stuff on Instagram. Jerry, did he say if you were on Facebook or not? Flower says, Jace is laughing with Flower. It's a true story, Jace. She is not exaggerating. Flower says, I'm happy you stayed, lovely Flower. And I got the honor of meeting you. Flower has been a true friend. Flower says, what did they just turn on the battery? And thank you, Miss Goldie. I skipped the off part. Oh, awesome. Jace has dropped the link for Jerry on Instagram. Or on YouTube, I'm sorry. Thank you for that, Jace. And Goldie drops the link as well. Awesome, guys. Flower says, wait, hold up. What's going on, Flower? Lee says, Yogi, I find in other chats they seem subdivided, like lots of microisms of mini chats. And sometimes you feel isolated, so they tend to speak to people they perceive as likable, or who they choose to. Like a clique. Jay says, unity in this community, Lee. Absolutely. And you see it spread all over. Absolutely love clicking on someone else's channel and seeing so many familiar faces all over the place. Look at our friend William Hart. He's he's been a big friend to my channel. He's now doing the Jace workouts. He actually went 6 weeks back to get the early stuff to build up because he's taken Jace's advice. And he's absolutely loving it. What a huge positive difference it's making in his life. Jerry says, this is my page. So anyone on Instagram, definitely check him out. Flower says, I might be able to do this. Wait, what are we going to do? Jerry says, I was a bit since I joined the Army. I'm not authorized to be social when it comes to Instagram. Uh, there's just one advantage that you can see what's going on around the world. That's true. So here it is. Flower is diving in. Everyone gets a high. Midwest is here. Says hello, my friend. Midwest is a new friend. I met him. Was it yesterday morning? Midwest, how are you? Flower says hi to Midwest. Eric Point says, I agree. I've gone to people's live and was ignored, sometimes even timed out. Huh. Why would that be? How could anyone time out Eric Lapointe? There's just one of the most good-natured people that you'd ever want to meet. I'm not saying that because I'm hoping his wife is going to send me a loaf of bread. I'm saying that because it's true. Whether or not she actually sends me a loaf of bread is besides the point. And I don't keep saying loaf of bread in hope that I am somehow sending a subliminal message to Eric Lapointe to ask his wife to send me a loaf of bread. It's just a coincidence that I keep saying loaf of bread over and over again. Midwest says, yes, sir. How are you doing? I'm good. Midwest, how are you? Lee says, Jerry, I think we tend to judge too quick or form an opinion. I'm probably guilty of that. Sorry, guys. Myself. But try and talk and get to know people. You do a good job of it, Lee. Jay says, Midwest, welcome. Jay says, ELP was always here. Told you. You did say that. Squirrel Sniper says, Eric Lapointe, you weren't pushing for 1,000 subs. 1,000 subs. Eric says, I have no idea. I said nothing but nice things. Also, it was weird. Midwest says, thanks to the chat. I'm happy to have you, Midwest. And Flower is still digging in, still saying hi to everyone. Midwest says, what's on the agenda today? This has been sort of a low-key talk. Just putting out some good vibes for each other. We talked a bit about working out, fitness. I think I might have mentioned a loaf of bread once, maybe twice. And we talked about traveling. We've been talking about writing with our friend Jerry. His link above on his Instagram page. Beautiful, very succinct, but right to the point writing. He says, hey, Eric, lovely to see you. Talking a lot about community, building a community, or allowing the community to build. Everyone here, different points of view, different beliefs, different opinions, and yet somehow no one comes in with an agenda. Just want to share, just want to spend time with each other. That's what it is about building that type of community. Hopefully, because we have so many good people here, that when we walk away from the conversation, everyone's feeling just a little bit better. There's definitely plenty of places to go, to talk about the bigger issues, talk about news, talk about this, talk about that. And all those are great people. I'm not smart enough to handle all of that. You know what I mean? It gets too involved. Try to keep things simple. Always happy to talk about yoga. Goldie says hi there again to Eric Point. Wolf says Barbara's resting, Flower, but I will tell her. Barb has a appointment coming up not too far away. So sending lots of love and energy to Barb as well as Wolf. Sue says hi to Eric. Flower says, all right, I believe that's all. I think you got them all. Nicely done. Once again, Flower. Jay said, Midwest is close to 500 subs. Let's do the family thing. You guys, thank you for dropping that link. If you guys would want to subscribe with our friend Midwest, Midwest is truly Midwest. He's from Ohio. Mocha, my ex-wife, not ex, is from Dayton, Ohio. She loves her hometown. Sue says, Eric, my sister noticed a beehive at one of the windows of the condo above hers. Is your sister near you still? Is this going to be a photo op possibility for you? Wolf said, already did. Jay says, I'm good too, Eric. 5 cans down. Heavy sweat session tomorrow. 5 cans in the sun. Jerry says, hey, Eric. Hey, I'm sorry. I lost my internet connection. It's raining here. That's okay. Pop in when you're able to. Wolf says, yes, soon I have to get the scooter out. Flower says, no problem to Jerry. Jerry says, hey, Lee, I'm sorry I missed your text. You see, my dad used to say that today I should behave as through this day is the bond of which I may have remembered. And apparently, our greatest weakness lies in giving up. That was nice you said by your dad. Important words. Makes me think of my dad, all the important words he gave me through my lifetime. And how little I appreciated so many of them for a long time. Because I was young, I was full of myself, full of my own good opinions. Lee says, I would love to visit the USA. I have 2 children. I'd love to bring them over. Hey, Lee, where are you? If you ever head to the U.S., come on by Baltimore. Technically, I'm south of Baltimore and north of D.C. Jerry says the most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. So I must say that every day you're writing your legacy just to make sure it works. That is the way to run an ultramarathon. I mentioned before, it took me 3 attempts at a 100-mile race. Each time edging a little closer. A week after my 50th birthday, I finally put it together. I ran my first 100. Squirrel Sniper says, new sub J. Nice, guys. Sue says, no, she's not near me, and I'm sure the HMA will knock it down eventually, but I can post the picture she sent me. Nice. Lee says, I wish my dad was here. I would simply say, thank you for all you did. I agree with that. I was with my dad in his very, very last moment. I was his caregiver. He came home, his last trip to the hospital, hospice. He died that night. Um, and I was able to sit with him his last minutes, hold his hand. I then sit with him through the night after he passed. Let's see, Lee is in Plymouth, United Kingdom. Nice, good. Quite a few people. United Kingdom. Jerry says, but hey, Lee, I'm 26 years old, but yeah, I assure you that one thing that you need to start. Hey, I'm always here to help. Plus, we're all here. If you're thinking to start writing, just do it. I agree, 100%. Lee says, Jerry, just need to focus again and get my enthusiasm for life back. It's gone missing. Well, I hope we can help a little bit with that, Lee. Hey, you showing up on Jace's live stream, it's a big start. Jerry says, trust me, I was thinking about, and Miss Eric just said one day, hey, if you're thinking to write, just do it. I'd love to see it. So I started without any single thought. Now my inbox is full. Jerry, man, I'm really happy to hear that. I remember our early conversation, you asking about that. Jay says, we don't ever succeed. We just take steps in the right direction. The important thing is keeping going. The journey only ends when you stop. And even then, it might keep going. Who's to say? Jerry says, and everyone try to know more. Squirrel Sniper says, Lee, sub number 7, Sussex coast. Casro says, hey, Casro, my friend, how are you? Jerry says, hey, Lee, we're all here for each other. Certainly are. Lee says, Squirrel Sniper, where have I seen you before? The name rings a bell. Squirrel Sniper is everywhere. Literally. He's literally everywhere. Silently doing good deeds. Everyone's saying hi to Casrose. Jerry says, I can stand. It can be hard at times, but trick is very simple. Never give up and never look back. Simple as that. Very true. And stick with me on Instagram. I'll help you out for sure. And here on live. Thank you for that, Jerry. Jerry is what we used to call good people, if we still use that expression here in the US. It's just a good person. Jerry says with everyone. Casro says, hey to Lee. Let's see. Lee says, Neil writes, the point of a journey is not to arrive. It's a very, very Buddhist as well as yogic outlook. 100%. I need to look Neil Peart up and see his inspiration. Sue says, connected to squirrel, even though I like my squirrels. I like my squirrels too. I like to think that our friend Squirrel Sniper only hunts the one that have turned to the dark side, the evil squirrels, the ne'er-do-wells, the ones that are harmful for other squirrels and are beyond redemption, although I honestly don't believe anyone or anything is beyond redemption. That Squirrel Sniper is keeping the world safe for the well-intentioned and honorable squirrels that are threatened by these dark, dark squirrels. That's what I like to think. Casro says, Been reading a new book. What are you reading, Kaz? Squirrel Sniper says, Lee, I've been down the YouTube rabbit hole for over 10 years now if you're looking for truths. Squirrel Sniper said a very excellent point. I love all animals. It's about balance where human interventions cause a problem in the first place. Absolutely. We have thrown things out of balance. There was a time when we were an integral part of the balance. I'd like to think that we can return there. I don't know how to do it, but I like to think that. We got some laughing emojis from Eric LaPointe. Flower says, hi to Kaz. The Unbound Soul. The Unbound Soul. That's not the Michael Singer book, is it? I don't believe it is. Here's the author. Here's the author, and how are you enjoying it, Kazros? Jay says, I'm crazy. Have a family, 5, maybe 6 squirrels out in the back of my house. I will film them in the morning. I got all kinds of videos of squirrels. I absolutely love filming squirrels. I love filming every aspect of nature that's presented to me. I was filming catbirds this morning. I love catbirds. I noticed that Sue had a couple of videos of catbirds recently. They got the loveliest song, and they're just so perfect looking. Flower says it's 101. 101 in 3 seconds. Sue says, love that. Jace. Jerry says, I'm sorry for your loss, big brother Eric. Thank you for that, Jerry. Kazua says hi to Flowers. Flower is finally going to head out and get some sleep. I hope you get a good night's sleep, or however long you're able to sleep, Flower. Appreciate the time that you spent here. I'm glad your internet stayed up. It was Richard L. Haight. I will check him out. I'm not familiar with that book. Says it's good. Well, thanks. Jay says, Flower, 100 squats in 100 seconds, you will sleep. I probably, most definitely. Lee says, Yogi, what's your favorite food? It's a good question. That is a good question. I talk about this a bit. It's always weird to talk about because it's weird that I largely eat the same thing every single day. Little varies. I have oatmeal with fruit, with berries, with walnuts, with flaxseed. I have lentils, some type of whole grain with diced up potato, seasoned with turmeric, a little bit of black pepper. The black pepper actually enhances the turmeric's healing. With more fruit. And then I have a very, very, very big, large salad with more fruit. Usually another bowl of oatmeal. Sometimes it's a smoothie, though. And some Ezekiel bread toast. Protein shake fairly often as a finisher. And I love everything I eat. People are like, man, how can you eat the same thing every day? Because I love what I eat every day. And it just fell into this pattern. However, if I break the pattern, pancakes. So a long-winded answer to your question is probably pancakes. Squirrel Simple says, Jason, I have about 6 myself. The estate I worked in was infested, over 30 per hectare. Was recorded before I started out with a plan of attack. 18 months later, and the return of songbirds. All about balance. They've done studies with reintroducing wolves in Yellowstone and how the elk population, deer population, bison population, um, all increase, as well as introducing beavers into an area. But again, as Squirrel Sniper is saying, it's about having that proper balance. Gordy says hi to Kazros. Lee says, I should take a leaf out of your book, Yogi. My diet is terrible, and I feel tired and bad for it. You know, what I always recommend when I talk to people about diet, um, start with adding things in instead of taking things out. No one ever wants things restricted. That comes in time. And what you'll find, as you increase the amount of healthier food that you eat without taking anything out, the unhealthy stuff that you eat naturally starts to fall away without you even trying. If you have an apple before any meal, uh, you've increased the healthy benefit of your meal. You've given yourself the pectin, apple fiber, which is great for fighting diabetes. It helps you lose weight. It helps your metabolism. You want to have the apple before. For one, it helps fill you up. So you eat a little less of what you would be eating, no matter what it is. If you can work your way up to it, half a cup of your favorite legume a day. If you can have a serving of leafy greens, serving, I have a big serving, but an actual serving would be maybe a little bit bigger than your fist. If you're up for it, try 2 fists. Start there. Just that addition. If you want to go at another step, add in half a cup of oatmeal somewhere in the day. Just add stuff into your diet and watch the bad stuff fall away with little effort. Jay says, Lee is a chef, by the way. Nice. I was a cook, hardly a chef. I was a cook in a restaurant bar when I was 20 years old. Squirrel Sniper says they also had an electrical bill, 30 pound after, I'm assuming that's pound, right? After Squirrel got into the roof and chewed the wires. Wow. Jay says squirrels can populate a crazy rate. Yep, so can rabbits. Quite a few rabbits here. I grew up where I live, never saw a rabbit. Seldom. We'd see them out in the wild, not in the suburbs. Now they're everywhere. And we also have an abundance of hawks and owls. The occasional eagle. Jerry says, Lee, take a leap of faith. It will help you heal your soul. First thing you need to do is smile and wave. Excellent advice. It will be a good start for a healthy life at first. Smiling is a wonderful practice. And when I say practice, meaning even if you don't feel like it, because it changes, you change your physiology and you change your emotional state. You change your emotional state and your physiology will follow suit. So practice smiling. Practice standing up straight. Don't have to do it all the time. Just stand up, straighten the spine. It increases the energetic sections, the energetic channels along the spine. And smile. Smile in the mirror. Smile at yourself. Smile at other people. Sniper says, Jace, the Greys, unlike the Reds mate and stay a family for life. Greys' parents leave the Dre after 6 weeks for the young to fend for themselves. Completely different life strategies. As soon as I saw Squirrel Sniper talk about the Greys, I thought for sure he was going to be talking about aliens. Lee says, Jerry, very true. I agree. Our friend Sabine is here. Says, hi, all friends. Here in Yogi Eric's live stream. And hi, Yogi Eric. Hi, Sabine. How are you? Man, it was fun watching you guys with backs on your city street, your village street. Jace says, hi, Sabine. Good evening. Jace says, 30,000, Eric. Eric K is 1,000. Eric Lapointe, Mr. 1K. School Shepherd says Graves will have 3 or 4 litters a year. Red's just one every other year. Big difference. We also eradicate the squirrel's top predator, the pine marten, 50 years before the grays introduced. I just read somewhere, uh, pine marten is making a comeback, or am I mistaken about that? Jay says a smile releases positive energy, so does this last spear. My word, do I love you all. Is that 6 cans? 6 cans in the sun? Not only that, but a smile increases our natural production of dopamine, as well as other feel-good hormones. I mentioned before a wonderful spiritual practice doing early morning breath work, getting out in nature to walk for 20 minutes as early as possible. If you can get sunlight to your eyes within the first 15 minutes of waking up, it's going to have huge, huge uh, physical, emotional, and spiritual attributes. And when you get outside to walk, don't even need to be in a hurry. Focus on nasal breathing. Let's see. Lee says, good evening, Sabine. And Lee says, Yogi, do you stream daily? I do. 3 times a day. Generally speaking, at the same time. I'm painting a picture of myself as being very redundant, trapped, doing the same thing. However, as I mentioned before, everything I do feels very, very spontaneous, very natural. It just happens that I love to go live stream at 1 o'clock. It just happens that I love to do a live stream at 5-ish. The times that work for me. Nothing's ever like forced. If I, some reason, at 1 o'clock, I was hit with a inspiration of doing something other, I'd follow that inspiration. However, my inspiration has been leading me here every day, sitting at my desk and talking to you guys. More than just about anything, I follow my inspiration. And I try to not confuse inspiration with my ego. Ego always steers me in the direction of me. What's in it for me? What's best for me? How am I going to get ahead? How am I going to leave this behind? George Harrison said on Let It Be, I, me, mine, all through the day, all through the night. I, be mine, I, be mine, I, be mine. All about the ego. Inspiration gently nudges, gently push, gently sways, and it is always leading us in service, always leading us to our highest good. And our highest good is always the highest good of others. If it's not, some people say, well, how can it be? What if it isn't? Then it isn't your highest good. Sabine says, Jason, my channel is just a backup channel. And to support other channels, as well as you all here. Sabine says, fine. Thank you. How are you? I'm doing good, Sabine. Happy to see you. Although, sadly, we'll be closing down the live stream in about 5 minutes as I'm going to refuel. I'll be back in about 2 hours, though. Squirrel Semper says, you are correct, Eric. The introduction of pine marten into Ireland and the Forest of Dean. Where's the Forest of Dean? Is that in Ireland? Are they going to bring it to England? Get a thumbs up from Eric LaPointe to Jace. Jace says, well, at least gas. I get that feel-good factor. Sometimes even tears in my eyes. Seven cans. 7 cans. Hey, Jace, it's all about the simple pleasures in life, you know? Jace says, Eric LaPointe, when's your next live, bro? Sniper says, me, myself, and I. Now, there's another way we can see it. This is the way of Ramana Maharshi when he said there are no others. Now there's only one I. Now we have a myself with a capital S for self. Speed says, Jace, well then, watch out you don't explode while you're releasing your gas. Don't light a cigarette. Of course, Jace doesn't smoke. Make sure that you're not next to a smoker. Lee says, Yogi, it was lovely to meet you properly, and I will be back. You intrigue me. Well, thank you, Lee. Man, I'm really glad that you showed up. You've always been so friendly when I stop by Jace's in the morning. So, man, to have you here, truly a pleasure, my friend. The point says, not sure, Jace. Sabine says, exactly. So, all right, guys, I think now is a good time to wrap it up. Jay says, I do smoke only for the last 33 years. I had smoked at one time in my life. I sort of like to say recreational. I smoked in bars. The problem was I was always in a bar. For an entire decade, I was in a bar. Scroll Stepper says, no I in team. Absolutely not. So, hey, I appreciate you guys showing up. We have some new friends come in. Some friends we just recently met last few days. I hope they found something enjoyable here, something maybe meaningful here. If not, maybe they just had a good time and they smiled a bit. Stepper says, Jace, I do partake in the toking myself, gave up drink 27 years now. Yeah, it's been 25 years for me. And since I left bars, I had no reason to continue smoking, although I had stopped way before that, honestly. The early 90s. It was a ridiculous thing for me to start. Of course, so was drinking. You know, I never missed a workout. All the bad stuff that I did, I'd still show up in the morning. I would do my workout. We would have the squat can. We would have the trash can next to the squat rack every Saturday morning. But we still did our squats. But it was ridiculous. But you know, when you're young, you're ridiculous to begin with, or you have a tendency to do ridiculous stuff. I certainly did. Fortunately, I grew out of that when I was 35. It took me a while. Sometimes I'm still on the uptake. Just weird considering all that stuff and how I justified it. How, you know, I started meditating. I had what I would consider a healthy lifestyle, and yet I had self-destructive habits for me. And you think I can get away with it because I'm doing this positive stuff. When I got serious about my meditation, my priorities fell into place. Everything changed, whether I wanted them to or not. I didn't set out to quit drinking. I was given the opportunity to quit drinking. And for whatever reason, I was inspired to do so. So, all right, guys, let's end it with that. I'm going to see everyone later. Jay said, Squirrel, we will meet up soon, I'm sure. Oh, absolutely. Squirrel Sniper says, I have an amazing menu, Jace. Squirrel Sniper is everywhere, as I mentioned. Jace says, much love to you, my friend. I'm going to see everyone later. If you got nothing to do, I'm curious. Jace has had 7 cans in the sun. Does that mean it's going to be early? Going to bed? Is he going to fall asleep? Or we get a chance to say hi to him later? We shall find out. Sabine says, take care, everyone. Jace says, see you all, guys. Pauline is here. Pauline, my friend, how are you? Just getting ready to say goodbye, but I appreciate you stopping in. Gives me an opportunity to say hi and to send you my love. Jace is going to do 500 sit-ups first. Way to go, Jace. Always an example. Always leading from the front. One more reason to love our friend Jace. All right, guys. With that, I'm going to see everyone. I'll be back again, like 2 hours or so. If you're bored, nothing to do, come on by and hang out. See you guys.